I wish I was dressed better.
No, actually, it's better this way.
Okay. Well, you know, this is the finished piece. You know, he's been working on it for about a year, you know, since we spoke,
Right.
or maybe longer now. And what he does is, you know, he works first from raw clay, but it's a specific hybrid of porcelain and terracotta that he requests from a clay company. And then he first makes the form. It's very wet and very rough, and then he like figures it out the way he wants to do it, and then he has to wait until it dries a little bit, and then he can start working on the form itself, and that takes a really long time, especially if he's working off pictures, which is what he was doing. But he had them all. He had them all around his studio. All your beautiful, I don't even know, images or photographs. They were really nicely designed.
Right.
I couldn't even tell if they were a photograph or a, or you know, a computer.
Are generated.
Computer generated.
Yeah.
Amazing. It looked like you actually had something. So he was, you know, working off that, and when it came the time that, you know, it was ready to be perforated, which is what I guess we can call this, he goes through every single hole by hand,
Really?
and then he goes through them again, because when the clay is wet, the holes push each other, and, you know, they kind of create they squish each other into, like, not exactly circles, which is what he wants. He wants circles, and he wants squares, yeah, as perfect as possible, because he finds a certain language in them, and
so cool.
he has a whole philosophy behind this.
Take a look at the back. How heavy is this?
It's pretty heavy, at least for me.
It feels very heavy. I like this with the license plate. We can stick Natalia in there.
Yeah, he would love that. That's good. Yeah.
Cool.
You know, and I think his signature is somewhere. He puts it usually at the bottom or side.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
So 2009 Al Ney.
How
That's
cool.
what he usually does.
So his full name is...
Well, it's Alexander Ney, but he always signs it Al Ney like that, you know?
That's really neat.
Before I was born, he signed it as
And
A
you would
Ney.
know because you're his son.
Well, I've seen his,
I guess he would.
I grew up around these things, but, you know, this is the first time I've seen a car done in his...
This is
Right.
the first time he's ever done a car, isn't it?
First time ever.
Yeah.
First of its kind.
First time ever. So.
But he wants to do more now. He really liked doing this.
Oh, that's
you know?
neat. That's really neat.
I mean, he doesn't have any specific projects in mind, but he was really inspired by this. He really liked what he was doing after a while. It was a challenge, he told me, but then he got the hang of it, and he saw what he was doing, and he was happy with it.
Here you go.
Take that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Let's take that paper over there and we'll just set it down on the counter so you get a nice shot of this thing. This thing weighs probably 25, 35 pounds.
Yeah.
Really?
40
That
pounds.
much?
It's actually a good thing I brought it by
Wow.
plane, like you suggested, as
Right.
opposed to
Shipping it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
Is
ship
it
it.
pretty breakable?
It's kind of like stone. So like stone is also breakable. I mean,
Yeah.
even this is
Granite?
also
Right.
yeah, it could also
hit it
break.
hard enough.
Yeah. if you
What
hit it
exactly
hard
is this
enough.
made from?
It's porcelain terracotta. He can't just call it terracotta because it actually has some kind of porcelain elements to it.
Okay.
I'm not a professional, so I don't know exactly what the mix is, how they
Yeah, right.
create this clay.
But they fired up.
Yeah,
There's some kind of like
In an
glaze or
urn?
something. Or,
Kiln. I mean,
Yeah, he after he creates it in wet clay and he dries it. It takes a really long time to dry it because he's got to make sure it stays up, because otherwise, you know, it'll flop. It's very moist clay, and then it has to thoroughly dry for a second reason, because if it doesn't, if there are any air pockets or water pockets inside, it will, you know, pop in the kiln because the water reacts badly to the intense heat. So he has to make sure it's thoroughly dried, and you know,
I would have to say this is at least 20 inches, because I know Bob was asking how big this thing was.
yeah,
Like that.
but that was, you know, a small piece and a typical one that you could find
yeah.
early on. Like, you know, the tiniest holes were what's
Like
called
needles?
Needles, kind of like what are they called?
I mean,
Like a wig pin or...
Yeah, but even
Little
something
bit
like
bigger.
so, like a
Toothpick?
paper clip or a toothpick,
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
paperclip,
opened up
yeah.
and done like that. But now he has actually more professional instruments because, for instance, he uses even dentistry equipment. You know.
how many celebrities or How famous people have actually commissioned or bought your dad's material?
You know, there's probably more than we know, because he's done many, many works in his lifetime, but he usually does not sell them directly or,
Right.
you know, work on a...
Can you name a few of the people that
Well,
have it?
I know for a fact Conan O'Brien has one, because I have a personally written letter from him about it, and you know, it's his portrait, and he loves it. It's in his office, and it actually appeared on his show once. I'm sure he took it to California because he wrote such a nice letter saying that he feels immortalized now,
Oh.
and that's exactly what he wants. You know?
That's cool.
And you know, Gene Wilder I mentioned, John Cusack has a skull. I think he chose a skull because his production company is called New Clyde Productions. So it just acknowledges receipt and that it's yours.
It's kind of like a title to a car. Yeah. I don't
You
know,
said it.
An art piece has a title to it, but
It's about as expensive as a
now
car.
title, well, it's very expensive, so I also have a title to it.
There you go.
You know, in today's world, it's really important to have written titles and deeds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, where
Contemporary
it
art.
came
It is.
from, and,
Yeah.
you know, history of it,
Right.
just like
Right.
a real automobile.
Right, like Casimir Malevich's grandchildren or great-grandchildren are now like suing the Museum of Modern Art, and they have to settle and stuff because they say
They don't have
never died.
evidence of whose art it was?
And it's just like a messy, crazy situation because like they're talking about 1920s, but you know,
Wow.
whatever. It's, by the way, it is the title to a car.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
You are now the
title to
proud
this
owner
car.
of a new Ney car.
yeah.
Well, actually,
The Ney Natalia.
yeah, the name Natalia. So
How cool
there's
is that?
number one and last one of
Uno,
this
no.
model.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
One of a
definitely a collaboration in a way because he's basing it off your design. It's his interpretation, so
Yeah, it's
there are
like
two
two artists.
at work.
that-
Yeah. No, I think it's
Together.
great.
And that basically
That is
in this
neat.
case never happens. He works by himself, so this is another rare instance.
Another first for him.
Another first.
Yeah.
I'll have to put this in the safe.
Well, it's quite an honor to have his artwork in our house.
Thank
It
you
is.
so much. I'm so glad that you like it, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised and shocked that it matches
That it's-
your
I
interior
know.
so well.
He never asked you what color interior of house
No,
you have?
no, I just felt as though they should have a free hand like I
Yeah.
do. And
That's amazing. I
he
mean,
should
it's
do
totally
what he
amazing.
thinks is best.
It's
Um,
crazy.
and that's what he did.
Yeah, it seems like when you leave the artist to his or her intuition, they go with,
Always
like
comes out
intuition.
better. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it does.
Intuition, I think.
There it is.
Way.